today, and I'm very happy that to be able to host this meeting. Once again, it's always an honor and a privilege to participate in this most amazing transformational meeting or call, which has been happening every Monday, every other Monday, every Monday we meet, and thanks to the effort and consistency of our great leader, Dale. Now, Dale won't be around today. He's taking a well-deserved break or holiday after the July. I know last Monday I really missed the meeting. I really missed it because it wasn't Dale had asked us to take a short break because most of the people in the US were traveling and enjoying the first their holidays after the lockdowns and the pandemic year we've had. So this week he's extended his holiday a bit, went to see family and stuff like that, and he asked us to, said, can we please ensure that we share this moment together, because I always feel so good, and and he asked me that, hey, can I be able to host the meeting? I said, yes, I'll try my best not to bore everybody, but I know it's very hard to fill into Dale's shoes, but I'll do my best. So welcome all to the meeting today. For those of you who don't know me, and even those who know me, my name is Apollo Owino, and I live in Kampala. I'm calling in from Kampala, Uganda. I hope you know where that is, somewhere in East Africa. That's the power of this business. Someone in East Africa is calling in and talking, and I'm able to talk to many people across the globe, and it's exciting. Some people I've just gotten to meet through this Monday with Dale and through our business, and it's been a great journey for me. And today I wanted to share my story and a bit of how this business has impacted me and the few things I've learned. And I've learned over the last 19 years I've been in multi-level marketing. But I always consider myself 6 months old, because I just got started in this business 6 months ago in my daily choice. And actually I'm celebrating my half year. And it's also it's actually my birthday month. So keep the gifts coming in, no problem. I won't. I'm already accepting gifts because it's my birthday, 15th of this month. So I'm already accepting gifts. So please keep the gifts coming in. But all in all, I'm excited about this business, and especially the support which I found in the last 17 years. I have been in different companies and achieved quite some success from the real reason that what I've seen in my daily choice blew me away. That's the reason why people ask me, hey, you've been in this business for long, and how come you decided to get started in a business like my daily choice? Isn't it the same? And that is where is my conversation. I said, nothing is the same as my daily choice. My daily choice is a game changer. That's why I wouldn't get started in something just for the sake of it. I didn't get started in my daily choice because of excitement. No, I think I'm going beyond that. There were facts which made me make a decision. And I want to share some of that of my story, and hopefully it will be able to motivate somebody, inspire somebody to keep going and soldier on, and also to share a bit of what's been going on. Well, I'm going to do it a bit differently. I know Dale does it differently. I love how he does it and everything he talks about, but I'm going to go straight into it this evening. Well, like I told you, Apollo is my name, and I've been in multi-level marketing for the last 19 years, but I always say I'm 6 months old, because the real deal came when I got started in my daily choice. So what is my story? About 19 years ago, saw someone introduce to network marketing. I was doing also so much money on businesses, which many of these businesses get close. These are the things which hinder you from achieving your goals. So I was doubtful, and I said, okay, what's this all about? And then, and incidentally, just for your information, the person who introduced me to network marketing, my daily choice, happens to be the same gentleman who is now regional head of my daily choice in East Africa. His name is Cyrus Methu. I always respect that gentleman. I feel privileged to work with him, not because he's regional leader, and he's such a great leader, but because he's the one who, I call him my angel, my guardian angel. He's the one who introduced me to my daily choice. Sometimes we forget these people who actually shine the, help us to see the light. I always say, Cyrus, help me to see the light when it comes to my multi-level marketing. So 17 years ago, I said yes, because I felt that this was the way to go. So I got started through the corporate world, through the corporate side of the business, and I grew until I grew in the corporate world, helping distributors grow and develop their businesses, and developing new markets across East Africa. I worked in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, and all these places I achieved great success. And about 15 years later, I decided to go into private business to improve. Of course, I was still doing my business while I was working, but to go back to private business and just to improve on some of the things that build up. And I decided I want to take a break on multi-level marketing so that I can focus on some personal and family business. So about the story is, long story short, is about, what was it? November last year, Cyrus gave me a call and said, hey Apollo, I'd like to tell you about something that has come into the market. It's exciting, it's great. And I said, hey Cyrus, but what's the difference? You know that I know these things. I won't get excited just because of a new company. I said, no, this company has something different to offer. And for me as a person, being in the industry that long, I first asked him about the most important thing: who are behind this company? So when he told me about the owners, the founder, Josh, and how a distributor came and started a business, and it's a company by distributors, distributors build. Hey, this is different. All the companies I've been in, most of them are run by business people who just use multi-level marketing as a tool to maybe build a business. But here is a business which is multi-level for distributors run by this. That is one of the key selling points that caught my attention. So I said, wow, okay, that sounds interesting. Never had that before. So what we did is said, okay, tell me more about it. So I tell him, hey, what about the payout? We've been in businesses which have been paying out, bring this new company and big. When he told me 80%, my eyes popped out. I can tell you, because as a business, as an entrepreneur, bottom line, I look at the bottom line, I want to make money. But I said, are you sure? I said, yes, this company pays out 80%. And then this one I said, hey, and what are you doing? So are you already? I said, I am already into the business, and I'm running the business in Nairobi, and I want you to get started. And when he told me that, I just told him, you know what? Send me, what do I need to do? And the rest was history. I got started in the business, and within a month or so, I took a very I managed to achieve 1K of multi-level marketing, and that's what I've come to learn over the years. And when I got started in November, we were just in a lockdown situation because of the pandemic, and many people wondering, hey, come on, how do you get started in a business when you're in a lockdown? And then, that's when I realized the power of multi-level marketing, because that was the time when many people were looking for that extra income. When people had lost jobs, they were downsized, salaries were reduced, were cut by half. Many people who never thought about supplementary income or creating a second or third income stream in their life are now listening, and they could listen. When we talk to them and say, you know what, whatever it is, so long as Apollo is something that I can do, people are now more interested. And I realize our business is recession-proof, is lockdown-proof. There are very few things that can stop our business from going, so long as you have the fundamental and you do the basic things. And I've come to realize that, for example, during the lockdown, there are people whom I had spoken to in November, December, and incidentally, as in Uganda, we just got into a new lockdown like a month ago, and many of the people I had spoken to in November, in December, are calling me and asking me about the business, and asking me how can we get started, and asking me when can we get started, asking me, hey, is the business still going on? That is the power of multi-level marketing. And that's what I learned about, that this business is not affected by recession, by depression, by anything. On the contrary, when things have been, businesses have shut down in Kampala, the whole of downtown Offices have been closed down. Only 10% of the people are working from home, those who can work from home, that is. But people are moving, more and more people are saying yes to the opportunity. Some maybe can't get started immediately, but they're telling us, hey, I am ready. As soon as I get that startup, I'm going to get started. And the beauty about my daily choice, I tell them, you know what, you can even get started. They were surprised that you can even get started for free. You start them as an unpaid, unranked affiliate, and then they build their business by selling products and stuff. That's one thing that you can only get in my daily choice. And that's what I learned about this business. And that's exciting. That's my story. That this business, that this business is lockdown proof. And even in the time of pandemic, the pandemic makes our business even more flourish because we give more people hope. People have lost hope. I have friends. The other day I was talking to a friend of mine who was very quiet. I mean, he was very sad story. He says migrated to Australia, and he called me and told me that he's moving into the last year's pandemic. Things were so bad, and so I felt so touched by this guy's story, and I shared with him the opportunity. And I think by the end of this month, he wants to get started. He said, I don't care about anything that will give me residual income. He said yes, and that is the power of multi-level marketing. When people are looking the potential, lockdown unlocks for us multi-level. That's what I've learned in my personal story in Kampala. Like I said, Kampala right now, we're on a lockdown. I mean, all the cars don't move, private cars, public transport. For good reason, we're on a lockdown to be able to control the pandemic. And we appreciate all the efforts being done. But at the end of the day, it does not lock down our business. Our business is doing so well and it's flourishing. And one of the things that I've seen is with technology today, we are able to move products are moved through courier companies and people are accepting, more people are concerned about their health. So one of the areas where I can say I'm doing very well during the pandemic times is products. Because one thing I've learned about multi-level, where products move, business moves. There is no business without product. So make sure you have a customer base and pandemic immune system and stuff which everybody needs. They are good for us every day, not for specific, not for seasons. They are daily sprays, and say, can you get it? Just today, someone was coming for some. I said, do you have them? You know, this because we have some of the best products in the market. Trust me, and I'll tell you with confidence that we have some of the best products in the products that work. And that is what we have. So through the social media sites, we have all these things available to us. Our back office has all this support videos. I mean, most of the time, I'll be honest, most of the time I don't even do presentations. I just send out these presentations by some of the greatest presenters we have in the industry. And they do the job for me. That's what makes it easier. When we got started, if you don't know how to do a presentation, you can't do network marketing. When people say, hey, I don't know how to speak, I said, no. Do you know how to, can you share a video with somebody? Can you send a WhatsApp message to somebody? Say that's all you need to do in our business. Even this business is not about eloquent speakers. It's about people who have real needs and want solutions to their needs. How I always tell people, it's not, people say, no, I can't, I don't know people. Yes, you do. Your phone is full of people. I always tell people, the only question that you should be able to answer, how bad does it pay me? How badly do you want change in your life? When you can answer that question, that you really want change, you really want a financial breakthrough, you really want to enjoy good health, then you will find the answer. The answer is in my choice. And my daily choice has made it. I have a down and you can actually make a presentation for free. And the websites and webs to the product, people say yes to the business. You know, that is the amazing part of my daily choice. What is your excuse? Look for excuses. There are none left. The only excuse is success, success, and success. That's all what I can say. And I can tell you so much about my life, my story, and what my level has done for me. Why am I telling you my story? Why am I telling you about Kampala? Why am I telling you all this? The truth of the matter is I learned something in all those years in the business, that facts tell and stories sell. Okay? Facts sell. Facts tell. They tell about the product. They tell so many things, but stories sell. What we need to do is always work in developing our personal stories. When I talk to people about the products, I don't start with telling them what is the content. I tell them and what it has done for me, what it has done for somebody I know. You know, what CBD oil has done for somebody I know, and I ask them the question. I don't know what it will do for you. What Shield has done for me during the pandemic times. What Peak has done for me. What Trim has done for my relatives. That is what I share. I don't really tell people. Sometimes I can't even remember what is in the content of Shield and Peak, because that doesn't matter. What matters is my story. What has it done for me, and what can it do for you? So there's one thing I want to share today is the importance of your story. Okay? Your story. Remember, your story sells. The biggest selling point is it's not the My Daily Choice website, is not the videos on My Daily Choice, is not Josh's story. The biggest, the most powerful tool that you have, Cecilia, Esther, Phil, everybody. The biggest, the most powerful tool that you have is your story. But most of the time, we put our story, we sit behind, we hide our story somewhere and want to tell Josh's story. We want to tell Cyrus's story. We want to tell Kate's story. We want to tell Dale's story. But the most powerful story is your story, Apollo's story. If you ask me about My Daily Choice, I'll tell you what it has done for me in Kampala. I really don't know about Nairobi, about the US, but I'll tell you what it has done for me, how it has put food on this table I'm sitting on, how it has helped me during the pandemic when people are being retrenched and laid off and businesses have literally gone to zero income, how I ensure that I can easily make my $200-300 every single day, sometimes $500 a day. I'm not talking of money to build a mansion, but at least at a time like this, I cannot fail to get enough to keep me comfortable in my family. And that's what people are looking for. Sometimes we sell the big story of the 5K, 500K affiliate. That's a good thing to talk about, but people are looking for that extra income. And that's what you can do. And that's what My Daily Choice can do. It can build you from $200 a day to $1,000. And people are looking for that story. And that is found in your story. What is my story? How does my story impact people? Because when I give my story, people can identify. They know me. I'm physical. I'm living with them. They can see me drive my car. They can see what I'm going through. And they know that I'm in the same environment, facing the same lockdown, but still I am doing okay. Okay. So your story is the most powerful tool. And how do you tell your story? You know, I met many people in this business, and some of them will tell me, you're lucky you've been there for 17 years, you have a story to tell, but I don't have a story. I said, really? So what do you mean you don't have a story? I said, I don't have a story today. I said, now that's your story. What? I just talked to somebody this week and they told me they don't have a story to tell. And when they told me when they have a story like mine, I said, that's your story. I said, what's my story? I said, the fact that you don't have a story is your story. That's where you'll start building from. You know what? Two days ago, I had nothing to say about this business, but today I've gotten started. I've used this product Now that is where you start from. Not having a story becomes your story. I didn't know anything about this product, but now I've got it started in this business and I am making money. That's your story. Not having a story is your story, because all you need to do is be honest with yourself, be honest with the people, because sometimes one of the mistakes we do make, and that's what I know some of you, this is things you know about, but it's always good to remind ourselves. Sometimes we make a mistake and want to, as distributors or affiliates, we want to sophisticate our, make it simple, make it simple, a simple story. This is me. This is what the product has done. This is actually, I always tell people there are three perspectives to your story. Of course, don't forget to tell them your name, where you're from, family, where the business found you or the products. What did you do? Because started in My Daily Choice and you said yes to the business. And how do you see the future? What has the business done for you and how do you see the future? A very simple pattern, and that is where the magic is. Now, many people ask me this question. I always say, but how do I tell my story and my own description? I know many of you have very powerful insights of how to create it or make your story, but I always say, number one, when you tell your story, take people into your life. Make sure the people you take them into somewhere in their life where it matters. For example, when we were young, they told us, when you start a story, you say, once upon a time. You remember? Once upon a time. What does that mean? Once upon a time, basically, is supposed to take you as a child back in history, or back in some place where there were fairy tales, back in some place where there were giants, back in some place where there was a beautiful place, back in some place. So it's supposed to take your mind to some particular time zone or time frame or time or episode or event. For example, if I want to tell you a story about my life, I'll tell you 25 years or 17 years ago, I was going through some very difficult financial times. I don't know where you were by that time, but things were very hard for me. Life was this. I had just gotten a new family. I could not afford this. Things were bad. I have taken you back to where I was. So I've helped your mind go back to where you are. You might not be 25 years old, but 5 years ago. But maybe you just have to remember this morning you couldn't even afford maybe transport. So I'm taking you back. My story has to take you back. It's not just a story like a newspaper, like news on the TV. The story has to take your audience back and place them somewhere where they can start thinking about their lives. Number two, this is just my own ideas and it just worked for me. Number two, when you give your story, always dialogue. Don't be, I always say, don't be a radio. You can't dialogue with the radio. It just gives you the information and whatever you understood. Always dialogue. Oh, when I was doing this, that time when I was, where were you? Where were you 5 years ago? What were you doing that time? Were you also going through, how many kids do you have? Wow, you must be going through you must be having a problem pay. Oh, how many, do you own your own house? Or how's your job? Are you still employed? Are you still during the pandemic? So you dialogue. Always create dialogue. Don't just give your story or try and give someone else's story, but always create dialogue. Asking questions brings people into your story and it makes sense and you get the results, okay? And there's so many things I can talk about, but the summary is also very important. How do you end your story? You don't just end your story with excitement of how you use this product and they've done wonders for you. Yes, all that. After all that is said and done, there has to be, I always believe, what is the moral of your story? That's what is a catch. That's what you want to wrap your story. That's where you want to close. And that's what I always believe is where many people go wrong. You get someone giving a very exciting story, and at the end of the day, you wonder, what was the story all about? Why did they tell me all that? Have you ever met such people and you wonder, okay, what was it all about? Because it doesn't tie down to you have to realize, why am I saying this story? There has to be a moral. Hey, and the moral comes with, what is the reason for this story? I want you to get started. I want you to try this product. I'm recommending this product. When are you going to get started? Like the decision, I made a decision 25 years ago, you can do the same today. What do you think about my story? The same can happen to you. I always say, always close the bid for action. Sometimes people just wait for that. When are you going to get started? No, actually, what I do, I normally give people an option. Are you going to get started today, or can you get you on board by next week? When do you think? You always give people options of which will solicit a yes and yes answer only. Okay, so always give them options. Say, can we meet tomorrow? Then we close this deal. Or can we go to the edge? Do not be afraid of telling them to pay, because you're doing them a favor for them to get started in the business. Some people feel so ashamed that I could ask him for. No, ask for the money. Ask for the money. You're a businessman. When you go to a shop and they want to sell you clothes, they don't feel ashamed. They sell you until you pay there. They don't tell you, it's okay if you don't have money. They make you pay. Ask for the money. Do not be ashamed. Bid for action. People, let me tell you a secret that I've learned over the years. People like to buy, but they don't like you selling them things. What do I mean? I love going, when I go to the shop, I love to, but when someone comes and tells me, hey, why don't you buy this? I feel like he's taking away my right to say no. So what do you do about that? Just give people the opportunity. Don't push them, but give them the options where you solicit a yes answer. Hey, what do you think about? What do you think about this business? Which part of the business did you find inside the product, the money? When would you like to make this money? When would you like change? I always ask people something when I give them the story. I say there's always a reason for doing anything. There's always a why for starting a business. And what does why mean if I go deeper? It's always been my motivation. Why stands for, and I believe that with all of my heart, that what hurts you is what will make you get started. What hurts you? That will be my bid for action. What is it that hurts you? What do I mean? Is it that pain when you feel you can't take your child to the school you want to take them? Is it that house that you feel you want to stay in but you can't afford? Is it that car that passes you as you're riding in the taxi and you look at people in the traffic and say, I wish I could be able to drive my children to school? What is it that hurts you? And that will be your motivation. That will be your moral. That will be your moral of this story. Close with a bid for action. Give someone a reason to say yes. And I can talk about my story. I can talk about stories, but because I strongly believe from the bottom of my heart that telling your story, especially in the time of pandemic right now, your story is the most powerful tool you have. Yes, we have the facts they tell, but stories, ladies and gentlemen, stories sell. You will be surprised. And each one of us has a story to tell. The day you said yes to the business, your story begins then. And always work on building your story so that you don't have to say the same story 10 years later. You have something to say, something to add. You're progressive. Your business is growing. When you met somebody, say, you know what? Remember I told you about this is what I've achieved. You know what? Now I've managed to do this. Your business has to be growing, has to be progressive. When your business grow your story, improve your story, work on your story. People want to know what the business means to you before you tell them what the business will mean to them, how the business has impacted your life. And to me, that is the heart of it. And to me, that is the core of this business. And to me, that is what has built and continued to build the story, to build the business in a place like Kampala where we're in total lockdown, but the business still goes on. I work with people from the DRC. They're in a similar situation, but we're still soldiering on with them. And we're just about to start a very big team there, I think, by the close of this month. There is so much. This business we have even scrapped the surface of this business. And with the tools that we have, ladies and gentlemen, with the leadership that we have people like Dale who have given us an opportunity to link with each other and talk to each other. With the leadership that we have from the company, let me tell you something. If you're in East Africa and you're not doing this business and it's not working for you, I don't know what else will work for you, because we have one of the greatest people in the industry that I know. His name is Cyrus, our great leader. He's the one who mentored me. He's the one who taught me the business when I knew nothing, when I was skeptical. If you think you're skeptical, I was skeptical when he first met me. But I said yes, because he did not push me into it, but he showed me by example, helped me he opened my eyes. He helped me to see the reality of what this business can do. And that's what he did. Like I told you about, our story is to help people to paint a picture of what you want them to see. Don't just give them a story. Help them to see their situation. Help them to see where they are. Help them to see the reality. Sometimes people say, no, everyone needs money. No. Find out what hurts them. Find out what do they really need. Find out what really hurts them. And if you listen carefully, you will know. When you talk to people, ask the right questions. When you dialogue, like when you're telling your story, somebody will open up and tell you what hurts them, what really matters. Because sometimes we share the opportunity based on what really matters to us. But sometimes someone is just looking for something, a little income as a hobby, and that's what they want to do. They're not interested in building a multinational business. No, give them. MDC can give them a little income, a little extra $100, $200. If you're looking for a hobby, you'll get it. If you're looking for something bigger to take your children to better schools, you'll get it. So we need to find out what really hurts them. To summarize everything, number one, always tell your story. Your story is what really matters. Your story is what changes people's lives more than facts about the product. Facts tell, your stories sell. Remember, facts tell. Facts are good. Sometimes I don't even remember what the products are made of, but I can tell you that, hey, you know what? This product has done wonders for this and this. About this person has a challenge with this, and this is what the product has done. I don't know what it will do for you. So I'm not the science, don't know. I really don't know about the science behind it, but our products are well researched, cutting edge technology, but I can't argue about that. But what I can tell you, and you cannot, someone can challenge your product. I have a relative who had a child with epilepsy, and after taking our CBD oils, the seizures almost disappeared, and they're still working on it. They've never enjoyed a peaceful moment with that child since it was born. Now, you can challenge me about whether CBD is made of what, but you cannot challenge my personal experience. You cannot challenge the experience of my client. That's why I'm telling you. That's why I always insist. Stories sell. Facts tell. Remember that. Your story is the most important. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, ask yourself, how many people have I told my story? Because sometimes we get caught up with telling the MDC story. The MDC story that one is good enough. There is enough of that in the internet. You can forward, you can do everything. But what we need to tell people is our own story. And that will make a difference. Try that tomorrow. Wake up tomorrow, write down in your diary, tell people I'm going to tell my story. But of course, before you tell your story, develop your story. Develop your story, make it personal, and wherever it is, however small. Nobody's looking for dramatic stories that I was and I flew in the air, and I was, sometimes miracle products. No, our products are real. They have a real and genuine science, real and genuine results. So people we don't need to dramatize, but we need to tell our stories. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I did today. There's one or two things you can pick from it, but remember, as we bring this meeting to a close, remember, and always remember, what matters in our business is your story. Tell your story and never give up. Don't stop. The pandemic has come, it has interrupted, but it's not in Kampala and anywhere in the world, it will never stop our business. It gives us, actually for me, all my stories have now included the pandemic, because during the pandemic, there's so many things that happened to people around me and so many things that happened to my business. So my story gets better. Even as things around me seems to be getting worse, but my story gets better, and I'm able to represent my company, my daily choice, in a better way, in a stronger way in a more exciting way. Nothing will stop us. Whoever's on this call, tell everybody who's not on this call that, you know what, we have something that is so unique in this market. Trust me, it's so unique. Tell your story more than anything. It's amazing. It's what has made us. Is your story. Your story is the best thing that can ever happen to your neighbor when you tell your story to them in the taxi, at work, through Zoom, through WhatsApp. Tell your story, and you'll be amazed at the feedback that you get. So, y'all, thank you very much for taking time to log in. I hope you'll be able to log in to join us next Monday. I believe Dave will be back. Maybe he'll have put on some weight after the holiday. Don't tell him I said that. And so I wish you all a nice evening, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Let's go out there and do the business. The month has just begun. We're just on the 11th day of the month, mid of the month. We have another almost 2 weeks to go to make that difference, to tell our story. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so much, Apollo. We are out to tell our stories. Yes.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Everyone, good night. That was a very, very awesome presentation.